farmers, and welcome back to Goldcrest Valley. We have entered the month of May, and not much to do this month. We just got to take care of the weeds in the cornfield, which we'll be doing right after what we're doing now, which is going up and taking care of the sheep in the wool. The wool price is still pretty good, and wow, I cleaned out the wool spawn point somewhere around like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. In the morning, it's full, so the sheep are producing some wool pretty darn fast. I did sell a few sheep already this morning, about six or eight, somewhere in there. So that's like another 6 to 8 grand, depending on each. I do lose $100 in the transportation fee because we don't own an animal trailer, and I'm not going to lease one because I just won't make the money back on it for the short time of having it. So yeah, we're going to sell the wool, take care of the weeds, and then move on to the month of June, where we can start cutting the grass over by the cow barn, and also the alfalfa and clover, and also, by the way, the alfalfa field, which is the smaller of the two fields over here. We will be selling that after we get the hay off of it. So yeah, I don't really need that small of a field. It's just a nuisance at this point to try to, upkeep it and maintain it, and to work on it. It's just too compact, too small for what we're doing. So we're gonna go ahead and sell that. But that won't be until after, we got to get all the hay taken care of. And that may not be all today, but at least we'll start the process. So let's go ahead and load all this up. All right, so let me guess. I'm too close to those pallets. I think the trigger for the autoloader is not right up against the trailer. So we should get, it said the stock market page, as we call it, said about 12 grand, but then we do have our environmental score bonus. So maybe 14? Maybe get up to $14,000. As for the sale page, nothing of interest last night. The only thing in there was the Capello, one of the Capello corn headers, and that was it. And this morning, it's pretty much kind of the same. It's all like headers and a small drill. And I think that's about it. So nothing that we're looking forward to buying. No train, no train. All right, let's go ahead and sell this wool, bring a little bit of cash. Bale sell point is the best place to bring the wool, which is nice and convenient because it's right here. Oh, good, we got it all in. Okay, I thought we were going to get more than that. Maybe I misread. Well, we end up getting the $12,000 anyway, so that's good. I'll leave this here. And yeah, now let's teleport on down. They got everything all set up for us today. The Massey Ferguson is already down at the cornfield with narrow tires. Although we don't need narrow tires on it, but they're on there. The Massey Ferguson now has been truly relegated to just doing like a see and spot weed spraying and I would usually say taking care of the sheep, but right now the Case tractor is up there because the Massey Ferguson's been kind of busy going from field to field, and I need to give the sheep the water, so... but luckily, we got plenty of tractors on the farm. Plenty and plenty and plenty. More than I know what to do with, but we're keeping them just because I may need them in the future. We may be doing some more hiring of workers in the future. I don't know. I'm not really sure where I'm going with the series at this point. Other than, I know what I want to do this farming season. But beyond that, I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. So once we take care of the weeds in this field, that's all of our fields set for the season. And then we're just going to wait for harvest season, which will be in July. June, of course, as I just mentioned, we're going to be cutting grass. When I say field work, I don't really include the grass fields. Just because grass fields are a different animal in themselves, meaning they can be cut 3 times a year, except for the alfalfa and clover, which is only 1 time a year, which is kind of weird. But either way, yeah, we'll be all set there. We are getting a little bit low on the hay, which is good that it's time to make the hay. I think the sheep got like 3 bales left, and the cows got plenty. But since we're not using that small grass field over there anymore for making silage and bringing it to the BGA, it's going to be cut 3 times a year. We should have plenty of hay for the sheep and the cows moving forward with just what we got, even though we're selling the alfalfa field here within probably next episode, I would think. So it should only take a few passes. Well, I mean a few, maybe like 5 or 6 passes. And then they got to go up there and take care of that little section as well. This field would almost be perfect for a worker, except for that little bit of a field up there. The workers can get a little confused once in a while and get stuck, so that's why I do most of the work. But hopefully on the bigger fields down by the cow barn, the workers do rather well over there. And for the fields at the main farm, those fields are on the small side, so those are things that we can knock out pretty quickly ourselves. All right, I was going to show you the sale page. So there's the Capella corn header that's been there for a while. We do have a nice 45-foot header like we got on our Case Tryon, or sorry, Kloss Tryon, not Case. There's a Kuhn C drill, which is, it's not a direct drill. It's only 6 meter wide, and it doesn't have its own little tank. So that's, you know, but we got something, we got the Kuhn drill anyways. Another corn header / sunflower header, and a cotton module trailer for square and round. And that's what's for sale in the store. We are basically looking for, as we all know, a mower would be nice. Also, the Avatar, the only drill I'm looking forward to in the sale page is the Horsch Avatar drill, because that's a 12 meter direct drill. We want a direct drill. And by the way, I keep seeing once in a while in comments, because I do precision farming, that when people do precision farming, they said they can't get their tillage up all the way. You have to get yourself, when doing precision farming, a direct drill. And you can tell it's a direct drill. So if you go into seeders, I'll show you. So if I click on any drills, it's going to say, oh yeah, we can drill, we can drill, we can drill. What you're looking for is where it says here, no previous cultivating or plowing is necessary. That is classified as a direct drill, and that is how you'll get your tillage score on precision farming, which is the very bottom. That's where you'll get it up to 100%. That's what you're looking for. Ours is not 100% because I'm guessing field number 5. So field number 5, which we did not plant ourselves, the tillage score on this field is right in the middle because we didn't do it. That's what's knocking down our score all the way. And of course, then it's pH value and nitrogen, which has not registered yet. So that will bring up our score in the future. I'm not too concerned about our score with precision farming on the maps I've been doing lately. I just prefer to farm with precision farming because to me, it's more simpler. Some would argue the other way, but you know, it's the way I like to play, so that's the way I'll be doing it. Some people prefer the base game, some people prefer the precision farming. I just prefer the precision farming. That way, once I drill a field, and as long as I got fertilizer in my drill, I don't really have to go back and fertilize it again. That's pretty much it. And I always use a direct drill anyways, because I don't like to cultivate a field before I have to drill it. To me, it's like double the work. So I'd rather spend the extra money on a drill, direct drill, and just I can be able to drill a field right afterwards. And I did get into a discussion with someone before on Discord. It's like, yeah, but your direct drills cost more. And I said, well, if you got to drill a field and you got to cultivate it before, you have to buy a cultivator before you can drill a field. So you're buying a cultivator. Yes, you're saving money on a drill, but now you got to buy a cultivator before you can drill. But you know, and that's why I told him, I said, look, just play the game the way to have fun. Just because I do precision farming and you don't prefer it, that's fine. It's all good. It's just a game. Have fun with it. All right, so we are getting rid of the weeds here in our cornfield, which we'll be doing chaff here later on. Oh yeah, but again, what I'm looking for in the sales page, as I was mentioning, was the Avatar direct drill. Because it's a 12 meter wide one. I don't have any other ones that are bigger. Well, I do, but we're not going to be using the ones I'm using in Oceanside Forest. That's way too big. Let's see, the mower, a tanker would be nice. One of the MK tankers, the modded one that I have that can do water, I could transport methane with it. Slurry would be good as well because we got cow slurry I need to bring up to the BGA at some point to be processed. All that stuff will be good. But it's not like a dire need on the farm either. We can get by. We can lease things. And I see that one little weed I didn't quite get. We'll back up. We'll get it. There we go. Weeds must die. Oh yeah, and a forage harvester. How can I forget the forage harvester? That would be really nice. Because that's what we're going to be doing here in this field in the fall. Now, I did a little bit of testing in FS19 when it comes to doing corn chaff, and the results were not that different. So, when doing corn chaff, you usually want to cut the corn in real life technically before it's ready to harvest, because you want the moisture and the stalks in the corn to help it ferment a little bit. So if you were harvesting for corn itself, you want the stalks and the corn to be a little bit dry. You want the moisture content really to be down around, I think they prefer like 15 to 20% in real life, in that general area. When it comes to corn chaff, I think they want like 30 to 40% moisture into it. But I mean, every farmer is going to want different values and what they're trying to achieve. But that's why you would do corn chaff before it's ready for harvest. I'm not sure when we'll do it here. It all depends. I may do it when it's just before ready for harvest. So we may wait until it's ready for harvest. But in 19, I did a test. I don't know if I actually did a video on it. I know other YouTubers did. And the difference between the corn just as ready before the harvest and when it was ready for harvest, I think the difference was very, very small. We're talking like 1,000 liters per, I think they were on a 10 hectare size field that I can recall. But that was FS19. I don't know if it's been changed in 22. If anyone does know, as for the in-game stuff, I don't want to hear it, well, in real life, it's this way, so I'll tell them to do it this way. I want to know, is there anyone that's done a test in FS22 to find out when to do the corn chaff? Should I do it in the last growth stage before it's ready for harvest, or just wait for harvest? I mean, to me, it doesn't matter too much, but for some, the numbers may matter. So it's good to know these kind of things for the future plans of your farm. I think it all depends on how busy we get around the farm when it comes time for harvest season and all that. If I get too busy in a month and the corn's just sitting there, we'll just wait. Yeah, we're going to do corn chaff. I don't really need the silage for money because we won't sell it until the winter time anyways. And I'm not going to bring it to the BGA to be processed to methane because we lose money doing that. Sounds kind of weird because, yeah, we spent a good amount of money for the BGA and the power plant. I haven't looked at the numbers to see if I make more money in the long run by bringing everything to the power plant and making energy. But that methane at the power plant is going to be there for a while. It's not going through it quickly at all. It's a very, very slow process. So that's why we're going to take our silage from this corn chaff and just sell it in December and get the money quicker and up front and not make methane and sell it because it isn't worth it. Just isn't worth it. All right, a few more passes on spraying for weeds. And then we can kind of skip through the month, other than I just got to make sure the sheep get their water at nighttime before we go to bed. And of course, check the store for the sale page. At least check it every 12 hours. That's what I try to do. And then move on to the month of June. And I'll probably start in cutting the alfalfa and clover fields and get the work started on that so I can get the hay off of it. And then just sell that little field right over there. We'll sell it once we get all the hay off it, like I mentioned. And then I can kind of focus on the bigger fields. One more pass will do it. And plenty of herbicide left in the tank to get this done. And we won't need it again until, well, maybe in the fall. Depends on what we plant. And next year, if we're still going here in Goldcrest Valley. Perfect. Turn that off. Folder on up. So not even 9 o'clock in the morning in the month of May, but we are done with work. Don't have anything else really to do. The animals are all taken care of. The cows, we just recently fed. The chickens are good. We'll top them off when it comes time for harvesting the wheat or barley. I think the wheat comes first. And the sheep are also taken care of already. So other than the water, which is all we need to do, I'll see you later on. It'll either be if something comes up for sale in the store page, or I'll see you in the morning of June. Almost 9 o'clock in the evening, and no, there's nothing in the store that came up new. Just the same stuff as we saw before, with a few things disappeared. The animals are all taken care of. Let's go to month of June and get ourselves some more, but we'll check the store first to make sure. See if they got anything for sale. And I probably should jump up and take care of the sheep right away. Only for the wool, because they tend to fill up rather quickly overnight. Okay, so tonight they... that's an interesting spawning. Looks like we got multiples in one spot. Kind of weird, but you know what? I'm not going to complain about that. Let's go ahead and push that over there. Let's bring that over to there. That's good. Oh yeah, let's go also see if we got any sheep to sell. Looking for the ones worth 1,000. And this month we don't have any to sell. I mean, that's fine. That's not that big of a deal. All right, the store page. Well, we got a stone picker and a front end loader, which is interesting because remember we were talking about earlier on, do these even come up for sale? And there is one, but now we don't need one. And there's the cotton module harvester, not harvester, but the bale picker upper. We don't need that. All right, so in the store, I was looking at mowers, and I think we're going to go ahead and lease the Elo. I don't know if that's the way you pronounce it. 7.3 meter wide, only needs 180 horse. I don't know if I use this one or not. I think I have before, but it's been so long, I really can't remember if I have or haven't. But let's go ahead and lease it for $26.77. And we are going to use the 8230 because we can. Looks like it's fully repaired, well, almost fully repaired, and got enough diesel fuel into it. Wait, I got the 3-point linkage on the front. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, let's go grab the mower and start cutting up some grass, alfalfa, and clover, and then we can return the mower. Yeah, shame that nothing's coming up for sale on the store page, but like I said, I'm getting so used to leasing the mower, it's not that big of a deal. But we should be all set after with the mower for another 3 months before the grass field is ready again. So that'll be July, not until September is when it's ready again. The corn looks like sprouted up to the second growth stage. But like I said, we are all set in that field until harvest time. All right, let me go grab this mower and we'll start with the alfalfa and clover fields. Not really the best view when you got the mower on the front, but at least I can see right down the middle. I don't think there's any cars coming. Oh, no, there's a car coming. Never mind. We caught you. We saw you. We're all set. I don't know. Every time I've seen this name brand on the mowers, I just want to go, hello. Hello, how are you? I don't think we can do swath mode or anything in this mower, which is fine. We don't need to. Just a reminder, we are just wide spreading all this because we're going to turn it over to hay anyway, so we got to ted it later on. This tractor with the wheels that are on it makes it sound like I'm in an airplane with the sound it makes. Yeah, so I don't get the option to wide spread it or at all. All right, so let's go ahead and get out of cab, lower that down, turn on the mower. And we are cutting this field for the last time, so I'm not going to even bother mulching or anything like that. It will be interesting to see what the NPC worker does with this field. Do they keep it as alfalfa, or are they going to, swap it over to something else? Inquiring minds want to know. It does seem like the John Deere is having a little bit of trouble mowing with this. Why are the mowers doing that on that side? That's kind of interesting. Unless there's some leftover hay from last season that was there making it raise up. Oh, there it goes, raising up again. Maybe because I'm backing up with it. I don't know. What is the working speed of that mower? Just to see if the 8230 is struggling with it. Working speed should be 13 miles an hour. Requires 180 horsepower. And the John Deere we got, I think it's a 240, is it not? 248. Now, could it be because we got 80 hours on the tractor that it's lost some horsepower. I thought it would only lose horsepower by the wear and tear on the vehicle. And right now we are like at 95%. Or is this one of those implements where it says required horsepower, and you probably should have a lot more than what it says? As we know, sometimes that horsepower requirement seems a little... Okay, I can't even turn right now. What is going on with this thing? Maybe I should put this, let me put this on the back. Maybe it only should be going on the back of the tractor. Maybe it's too much weight on the front of the tractor, making the mower dig into the ground a little bit. Let's turn things around here. I was just trying to leave the mower on the front. That way the wheels of the tractor are not pushing down on the grass before I mow it. I mean, in real life, that would really help out. In Farming Simulator, not so much. Oh, okay. That looks like that's what our problem was. Probably the mower was digging into the ground, because now we are having no problem cutting the grass, or excuse me, alfalfa. I do like the looks of the alfalfa, the nice purple color to it. But I don't have any plans to make another alfalfa field. I may do it on American Falls. Oh, and speaking of American Falls, the schedule is probably going to change somewhat. I used to do a weekly schedule, and I kind of mentioned this in yesterday's episode of Oceanside Forest. I used to do weekly schedules, if you remember that, but it's been like a year since I've done that. I can't plan a week in advance what my schedule is going to be, so currently what I'm going to be doing on the Discord channel, I do have a category called upcoming videos, and what I'm going to do is when I get a video uploaded to YouTube and I know when the video is going to go out, I'm going to post it on that right there. So if you're wondering what videos are coming up, for the least up, you know, if you want 2 days in advance notice, probably is what I'm going to be able to schedule ahead of time. You probably want to get on the Discord channel and check out there every day or whatever you like, and you can kind of see what videos will be upcoming. Usually I record, like Goldcrest Valley, I'm recording this on a Sunday, and it will be going out on a Tuesday. By the time I record it on Sunday, I got to render it, and usually it takes about 6 to 8 hours to upload. And I always try to give myself a day advance in it, because every once in a while YouTube does not like the uploads that it gets, and when they render it themselves, they'll get stuck at 99% and never finish, and I can't post a video when it's like that. So usually I record episodes 2 days before they get published in advance, so I can pretty much schedule 2 days in advance, knowing when the video is going to be going out. But either way, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to know what videos will be coming out in the next couple of days, you can join the Discord channel, which the link should be in the description below in most of my videos, I mean, if not all of them. Or go to the home page and you can find the Discord link there as well. And yeah, you can see what videos are coming out when. Because I think American Falls, I may be doing an episode tomorrow instead of Oceanside Forest. Not too sure yet. Got to decide what I want to do there. Goldcrest Valley, I can see we're just going to keep on doing what we've been doing. But sometimes things change with the schedule. Like, I did not realize Alaskan Road Truckers was going to be as big as a hit on the channel as it is. So I'm doing many more episodes of that than I thought. Alright, so this is the last cut of alfalfa, as for now, on Goldcrest Valley. But like I said, I may do it on American Falls. It'll be a little while before we get that far at American Falls, because I don't own any land yet. But since the map was just recently updated, and yesterday a video went out on the new version of American Falls, on the new save game, we are set to move forward on there. So that's why I'm kind of excited to possibly get going in that series a little bit. And if you're not a fan of the challenges and restrictions that I do, the only restriction we got there is we can't take out a loan, and that's pretty much it. Oh, whoops, I didn't lower down the mower. I'm like, why isn't it cutting the grass? Because you gotta lower it first. Yeah, don't worry if the clover seems like the stalks on it are a little bit high. That's why we gotta mulch it after we get all done turning it over to hay. And that's why it can start regrowing. Still not sure as to why, though, as some real farmers have said, they get 2 or 3 cuts in a year with the alfalfa and clover like they do with grass. Why in Farming Simulator 22 that we only get 1 cut into it. Don't know. But it's an interesting crop. We're doing it instead of grass. We don't need that much grass. As you have probably seen in my other series, I'm trying to get away from doing the least amount of grass as possible, because we do enough of it in most of our series. And when you do that harvest 3 times in a season, it gets to be you're doing it a lot. Yeah, so this mower would be actually pretty good for the farm, so maybe this will be the one that we have leased, and when we return it, it'll come up for sale in the next 12 hours. Because the 8230 works wonderfully with this. I was kind of thinking this is why I put the mower on the front. Well, a couple reasons why we put the mower in the front. I was wondering, like, if I put the mower in the front and I put the tedder on the back, I can mow and ted grass at the same time. Although our tedder is like 3 times the working width of this. At least I get it done in 1 pass. But I think we'll just ted the grass afterwards anyways. Yeah, we don't need to be putting in the swaths because we're not going to pick up grass anymore and make silage out of it. It's all for the cows and the sheep. But even though we don't have a mower yet in our arsenal of farming equipment, at least we got the tedder, the windrower, a baler, and a baling trailer. That's not too bad. And for the newcomers that may not know or maybe have forgotten, we cannot buy any new equipment on this series. We can only buy stuff from the used section, and we can only currently have 3 leased items at a time. So a little bit of a challenge there. So it's not as easy as saying, hey, we need this equipment, we're going to use it a lot, let's go ahead and buy it. We got to wait for it to come up for sale. And mowers, there's been a couple mowers for sale throughout, but not the ones that we were looking for. But we got lucky one year. We got the tedder and the windrower, I think, on the same day. I think some farmer didn't want to make hay anymore, and they're like, I'm selling it. And it worked out for us. So I think what we're actually going to do here is finish cutting up the grass, clover. Alfalfa's already done. And we'll probably ted it, windrow it, and bale it next time. Or maybe not bale it. Maybe I'll just ted it and windrow it and let it sit there for a minute or 2. Kind of make it role play a little bit and make it look like it's actually drying in the sun. And that was the one thing what I heard when FS22 was coming out a couple of years ago now, that when they said we're going to do seasons, I'm like, oh good, I like the way in 19 in seasons the way we made hay. It wasn't just take a tedder and ted it and it was hay. You had to let it bake in the sun. But if we all remember way back to Griffin, Indiana, at the beginning of that series in 19, I tried making hay in the fall and it didn't work out because the sun was not out long enough in the fall to turn the grass into hay. So it could be kind of frustrating. But that could be an option that we turn on or off. I would like to kind of see that. just surprised no one has made a mod on that yet. I think I talked about that before. Maybe not in this series, but maybe that was on Hinterland or something. Oh well, we all prefer to play the game the way we like, and that's the way I would like to see it. Have to look at the weather to figure out when to make your hay. And next month we should begin the harvest of the arable crops. Well, we got the wheat field that we just purchased, field number 5, but I don't know when they planted that. We got a wheat field down at the cow barn. I think that's the one that used to be the grass field, which I forgot to plow before I planted it. Oh yes, that's another thing I will be looking forward to having, but I could always lease a plow. That'll be a one-day time use anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. So we got that wheat field to plow that I forgot to plow, and of course we got a cornfield this year again, and we'll have to plow that one as well once we get that all chaffed up. So the clover and alfalfa bales will stay up here for the sheep, and then the hay bales that we make down by the cow barn will stay down with the cows. Now the cows aren't going through that much feed, but we don't have as many cows. So they're not going through the feed as much. But at least I'll get the grass field and the rest of this field cut between this episode and next. And then we'll whip out the tedder and the windrower, which I do believe is down at the cow barn. So we'll probably start down there making some hay and move over to here and get it turned over. And then probably move on to the month of July. And yeah, just keep seeing what the store has to offer to us. But if nothing's there, well, we got a lot of farming work to do because it is midsummer and the beginning of the harvest season. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Goldcrest Valley. But until then, have a good one.